Let's begin with the first section, and in this section we will talk about the clinically localized prostate cancer, and in this section we will talk about the nomograms. What are the treatment-related adverse events or adverse effects of the treatment for the prostate cancer, which is especially the localized type. And then we can also discuss the radical prostatectomy, which can be performed for the treatment. So the clinical localized prostate cancer, here if you see, this is the prostate gland, and that's the localized prostate cancer that is localized to the prostate gland, and that's the bladder, and the prostate gland is located close to the urethra, and it goes through the urethral opening. So that's the prostate gland. Clinically localized prostate cancers are those that appear to be non-metastatic after staging studies are performed. So localized prostate cancer, as this definition tells us very clearly, is the localized type of cancer which is limited to the prostate after the staging is performed, and after the staging it tells us that it is not metastasized. So that's the localized prostate cancer. Radical prostatectomy, radiation therapy, and active surveillance are the treatment options done for the localized type of prostate cancer. So we can do prostatectomy, removal of the prostate, which is radical, along with associated surrounding structure and lymph nodes, so to avoid any chance of recurrence, or if it's so radiation therapy is also important, and active surveillance to look for the prostate cancer, close observation. That's the surveillance. Then the clinical localized prostate cancer can be treated by single modality therapy. So only single therapy can be used. Local and systemic therapy. Prostate-specific antigen relapse-free survival. Radical surgery, and more advanced disease, lower probability of local control. So these are different treatment modalities for localized type of prostate cancer. It can be treated by single therapy or by local and systemic therapy, which will be more like a combined therapy. And then we have prostate-specific antigen relapse-free survival. The level of prostate-specific antigen, as we mentioned when we talked about prostate cancer, is the indicator that how bad is the cancer, or what's the stage, and how well will be the prognosis. So that is, if there is relapse-free survival, that's also important. Then radical surgery, like radical prostatectomy. If the disease is advanced, then there is low probability of local control of the cancer. That's the histological picture of the prostate cancer, localized prostate cancer. The T1 lesions of local prostate cancer, they are high relapse probability, require local and systemic therapy for cure. So T1 lesions, usually they have high probability or high relapse probability, require local and systemic therapy for cure. T1C type stage cannot predict outcome. T3, curable therapy directed at the prostate. So T1, T1C type, and T3 tumors, they are the, in T1, high relapse probability, and require local and systemic therapy. T1C, we cannot predict the stage outcome. And then the T3 tumors are curable. Therapy is directed towards the prostate. Nomograms. Now, nomograms, there is assessment of risk and to guide treatment selection. So nomograms are performed to assess the risk of the cancer and to guide the treatment, what type of treatment is required. Variables are prostate-specific antigen and Gleason score. Radical surgery if low probability of cure. Prediction of clinically significant prostate cancer, disease extent versus organ confined versus non-organ confined. Probability of success of treatment. So all these are the predicted nomogram leads to prediction of all these, whether it's clinically significant prostate cancer, disease extent of the prostate cancer, confined, organ confined or non-organ confined, or probability of success of the treatment. As we know now that all the cancers, the probability of success of treatment depends on the nodal involvement and also the metastasis of the tumor. If it is metastasized, then the probability is less. If it is not metastasized, localized, then the probability of cure is better. And then in the prostate cancer, the PSA is also very important predictive factor. So the variables are the prostate-specific antigen and the Gleason score. Treatment-related adverse events of the treatment of prostate cancer varies by treatment modality. Effects on continence and sexual potency, bowel function. Following radical prostatectomy, incontinence is 2 to 47% and impotence is 25 to 89%. So all these are the adverse effect of the treatment of the prostate cancer. If radical prostatectomy is done, the incontinence can occur, but the rate of impotence is very, very high, about 25 to 89%. Following the surgery, impotence is immediate, may reverse over time. Following radiation therapy, impotence is not immediate, develop over time. So surgery leads to impotence immediately, and then the radiation therapy can also lead to impotence, but that is not very immediate, it occurs over a period of time. Radical prostatectomy outcome prediction is done by nomograms are performed to look for the outcome of the radical prostatectomy. Comparable feature between invasive and open methods of prostatectomy, rate of cancer control, recovery of continence and recovery of erectile function. Via retropubic or perineal approach, minimally invasive robotic assisted approach, handheld laparoscopic approach. So these are different methods for performing prostatectomy, can be via retropubic or perineal approach, minimal invasive robotic approach, and also handheld laparoscopic approach. And all these methods, whether we should use the open method or invasive method, depends on the rate of cancer control, recovery of continence, and recovery of erectile function. So statistics play an important role in deciding which method is used for the treatment. If the statistics tell that the complications like impotence and then erectile dysfunction and incontinence is less likely associated with invasive method, then we should go for that. And if its statistics tells the other way around, then we should decide the procedure according to the statistics. Radical prostatectomy neoadjuvant hormonal therapy is not recommended. Incontinence after radical prostatectomy is depends on the older age and the urethral length. Drugs like phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitors, intraurethral inserts of alprostadil, and intracavernosal injection of vasodilators. So these are all usually the hormonal neoadjuvant hormonal therapy is not recommended along with radical prostatectomy. The incontinence after that depends on if the patient is old age and the length of the urethra is depend on those conditions, age and the urethral length, whether the incontinence will be bad or not. And then some drugs can be like phosphodiesterase 5 inhibitor, intraurethral inserts of alprostadil, and these are some drugs that can be used. That was all about the section 1. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.